Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh man, do I have a video clip here. Actually, I got a bunch of them. But the headline for this video, oh, this is the good stuff. Frankly, this is the stuff that I freaking live for. This is what I love about the internet today. The freaking receipts, baby. The receipts live forever. You know, you can lie all you want, you could try to spin, you could flip-flop, but eventually we're gonna find that moment of hypocrisy. We're going to find that paradoxical moment, and when we do find it, we will signal boost the hell out of it, and then, of course, it's never going away. And then right now, that's exactly what we've got. We've got Democrats, of course, tying themselves in a knot, screaming that Donald Trump is some kind of fascist dictator for wanting to do one very simple thing, you know, making Washington, D.C. safe, as crazy as that is, but they claim that his National Guard deployment or the federalization of D.C., well, it's born in racism. Democrat after Democrat crawling from under their rocks to head over to MSNBC to make the claim, or whatever rinky-dink podcast is willing to platform them.
When he says, oh, you know, it's Liberation Day and all of these things, those are, you know, ways of him saying, oh, it's white power, it's what I want to do. Those are racist remarks. His number one targets are cities that are led by Black mayors.
That's right.
His number one targets are cities
right.
that are sanctuary cities that, you know, support immigration.
Yeah, it's the same lazy stuff. But now let's say the Democrat stance isn't holding up so well. Here's where the hypocrisy hits the highest level imaginable. In other words, just your average Democrat hypocrisy. Someone just dug up footage of Democrat DC Mayor Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, testifying before Congress, I believe, 2 years ago on the issue of crime in Washington, DC. And guess what she said? She demanded control over the National Guard to keep DC safe. So when Muriel Bowser requests it, it's woke and justified. When Donald Trump does it, it's white supremacist Jim Crow 2.0. Yes, I'm as frustrated as you are. And let me show you guys the very valid source of my frustration. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I already presented the headline. Now take a look at the clip.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser announced her Safer, Stronger anti-crime legislation. So this morning, she went to Capitol Hill to testify before the House Oversight Committee about crime in the district and ways to reduce it.
Access to firearms is a national problem, and we need common sense gun reform. We also need this Congress to give the mayor control of the D.C. National Guard. We welcome your partnerships or non-public safety initiatives as well.
I mean, you can't make this up, honestly. When Democrats want the National Guard to tackle the clear issue of out-of-control crime, it's responsible leadership. But when Donald Trump uses the National Guard, it's evil white supremacist fascism, and actually, there is no crime in D.C. I mean, the hypocrisy could not be clearer. It's rules for thee, but not for me. They're so incredibly disingenuous, and they're so obviously a double standard. The motivation is clearly Donald Trump does it, so therefore it's bad. And well, let's just take it to where I always take it with this stuff. Following this idiotic thought process, once again, I'm telling you, is going to backfire spectacularly. They are giving so much ammo to the Trump administration. And speaking of that, just take a look at these moments.
Empowerment is going to keep on going until we make America, and D.C. in particular, a safe place again.
What evidence do you have or that the DOJ has? Are you going to be releasing it?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to be releasing evidence of this?
Of what? That D.C. has a terrible crime problem? You just got to look around. Obviously, D.C. has a terrible crime problem. The Department of Justice statistics back it up. The FBI statistics back it up. Just talk to a resident of this city, this beautiful, great American city. Don't they deserve... I mean, we talk about human rights. We hear these people outside screaming, free D.C. Let's free D.C. from lawlessness. Let's free Washington, D.C. from one of the highest murder rates in the entire world. Let's free Washington, D.C. so that young families can walk around and feel safe and secure. That's what we're trying to free D.C. from. And as Stephen said, it's kind of bizarre that we have a bunch of old, primarily white people who are out there protesting the policies that keep people safe when they've never felt danger in their entire lives.
I think here's the most important point. There are residents who lived in Washington, D.C. their entire lives. Their parents lived here, their grandparents lived here, and they have lived for generations in intolerable conditions of crime and decay. There are parts of the city, I moved to the city 20 years ago. There are places where I've seen graffiti that has been untouched for 2 decades. There are homeless encampments that have made it impossible for families to use public parks and public recreation for as long as I've lived here. There are hundreds of residents of this city who are shot in street violence every single year, making it one of the most violent cities on planet Earth. And for too long, 99% of this city has been terrorized by 1% of the city. And the voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots, they have no connections to the city, they have no families they are raising in this city, they have no one that they are sending to school in this city, they have no jobs in this city, they have no connections to this community at all. But they're the ones who've been advocating for the 1%, the criminals, the killers, the rapists, the drug dealers. So we're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old, and we're going to get back to the business of protecting the American people and the citizens of Washington, D.C.
Absolutely savage, but exactly like I told you, the ball is teed up. You know, it's not like they're sitting at the plate trying to hit a 100-mile-per-hour curveball. Democrats are teeing up the ball for Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance to come in and just smack it out of the frickin' field. It's so incredibly idiotic. Once again, Democrats, in all their wisdom, following the path of Trump derangement syndrome, they've set themselves up for failure. They've given the Trump administration the position to take a real righteous stance, to appear bold and as if they're fighting for what people want, and now Democrats are looking like complete idiots. I mean, I don't know why you would take that stance when we've seen the data that shows that 91% of residents in Washington, D.C. say that crime is a major issue. And now on the issue of Trump's National Guard deployment and federalization in D.C., well, the data's showing us that Trump has support. RMG Research has him winning the fight at 49% support and 45% opposing. But the Democrats, of course, had to dig their heels in. They had to dig their heels in on the side of the criminals. Once again, great job. I mean, real great job. And in the process, they've once again flipped everything upside down. Now the criminals in Washington, D.C. are the victims of Donald Trump's Gestapo crackdown, and the National Guard are the bad guys. Well, just keep that at the front of your mind for a second, and then watch this video. Is it just me, or is that one of the most wholesome videos you've ever seen? We've got National Guard troops, who are all black, I might add. Not exactly the racist, white supremacist Trump crackdown of DC, but you got these National Guardsmen who are engaging with young black youth in the city, talking to them, taking photos with them, letting them hop in the Humvee. It's pretty damn cool, and it's inspiring for young people. That looks like community connection, inspiration, safety. These guys are doing really important work. And by the way, the work is working.
No denying DC's got a crime problem, but should these governors be sending troops from their states where they have crime problems to DC?
Well, I mean, if you're suggesting we call out the National Guard in these cities, I think that's a different conversation than our nation's capital, the District of Columbia, which is a federal zone. And I don't think it's theater. I think it's working. They've arrested hundreds of people. They've gotten a number of violent criminals off the street. Just last night, they arrested an illegal alien and a member of MS-13. They've gotten a lot of illegal guns off the street. Half of all the non-immigration arrests have come in DC's two most violent wards. There was some concern that they wouldn't be looking into the places where the crime is. That's not true. They actually have been. And so I have to say, with the amount of progress they've made in just these few days, if it improves a little bit in our nation's capital, that's good for every state, because every state has people that visit there all the time. You've both said they're not doing anything. The simple fact that they are there.
I didn't say all
their
of them.
Presence,
I said a majority of them.
And having more eyes and ears on the streets of Washington, D.C., a place where there is crime happening all over the city, I don't know how you could argue that that is not
but
a good use of their time. It's our nation's capital. It is our national capital.
For crime to go down,
it is a disgrace for it to be violent.
But just one thing on that. Some of the crime that's being committed in D.C. is by young individuals.
Yeah, and they don't prosecute people under 25. How dumb is that?
But it gets to the point of the root problem here. We have an education problem. We have a schools problem. We have a community problem.
We have a carjacking problem. We have a murder problem.
That's not going to be addressed by having the National Guard there for many years.
So I agree with you. It's hard to run cities, but it's also easy to see the error of your ways. In Washington, D.C., they limit prosecutions of people under the age of 25. Who do you think is committing the crimes?
And you know what? The mayor has been fighting against that for a while now.
Ed Martin.
Crime is down spectacularly since Donald Trump took over. And so they're doing a good job, and it's just absolutely despicable. Frankly, it's disgusting that Democrats have demonized these service members. You know, at the end of the day, it's simple. And that's the Democrats' biggest problem. They're always trying to overcomplicate things and turn everything into the next psyop, the next information propaganda scheme. But it's really freaking simple. The US Capitol deserves safe streets. Americans deserve to feel safe in the capital of their own country, and the National Guard is there to make sure of it. And here we have Democrats smearing them, attacking them, and slandering President Trump. They're clearly taking the side of chaos, crime, and criminals. But when Joe Biden was president a couple years ago, they were trying to do the same damn thing. An unreal level of dishonesty and hypocrisy. In other words, another day dealing with Democrats in America. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.